G'day. I haven't posted a video in ages, but oh well. So I'm walking down London, and I've been in Europe for about a few weeks now. Chatting to a whole bunch of people. I've been to a whole bunch of places from like Austria to Denmark to France and England right now. One thing I've realised is the EU, and Europe specifically, is becoming more so what the United States was supposed to be. So the United States, as we all know, is a collective of states in America, North America. They call themselves the United States because there are a whole bunch of United States that have like their own governments that have their own laws, and there's a big federal government that controls all the big issues. Essentially is what, at least that's the way I see it. Same thing goes for Europe. So the EU has a bunch of people that will decide health outcomes. So there'll be like an entire WHO aspect of the EU. They decide what is allowed with the EU and what isn't. Obviously some countries, some states might have different rules for that, but generally for the most part, most of the states or most of the countries in the EU will follow those rules. The EU also has ties with NATO, which basically means if one country is attacked, every country is attacked. It's like how the United States, one state's attacked, every state's attacked. Only thing that I'm not 100% sure is exactly how the EU was run, but I am aware that there is elections and stuff like that from different parts of the EU, and from different countries have different amounts of people that go in. And as much as Europe itself will never actually be a country per se, this sort of how do I say it? This sort of higher level of government that it has, is much in the same way as a federal jurisdiction over the United States or Australia. So in that regard, you can claim it to be essentially one big forming country, with the federal government or with the EU actually trying to standardize more things and act more cohesively. They're able to, or more change, they're able to force Apple, for example, to put USB-C into all their phones. It's the federal government of the entire Europe saying, no, you need to be able to do these things before you can access these markets. And I don't know, that seems pretty fucking country or federal government-like to me. Anyway, that's just my two takes, and that's just my 2 cents, and I don't know, hope you have a great day.